Okay, so something huge is happening in the world of AI right now. I mean, we're moving way past the era of just simple tools and chatbots. We are entering an age where AI is becoming an active, autonomous teammate.
No, I'm serious. Just picture that for a second. We're not talking about a tool you use like a calculator or a spell checker. We're talking about a colleague you actually work alongside, one that can take initiative, learn from its mistakes, and even run entire projects on its own.
Because that future, well, it's pretty much here. The announcements we're seeing right now show this isn't science fiction anymore. It's like someone hit the fast forward button and landed us on December 3rd, 2025. A brand new digital workforce is officially clocking in.
All right, so how is all this playing out? First, we're going to meet the new digital employees that are already on the job. Then, we'll take a peek under the hood at the powerful AI brains that make them tick. After that, we'll see how these AIs are jumping from our screens into the real physical world. And finally, and this is super important, we'll look at the rules we're building to keep this all in check. And look, we're not talking about some cool demo or a far-off research project. Right now, major tech companies are deploying AI agents into real, high-stakes professional roles. Let's just take Amazon Web Services, for example. They've rolled out a whole suite of what they're calling frontier agents. You've got Kiro for developers, which is an agent that actually remembers your past conversations to help you squash bugs and write cleaner code. For the operations teams, there's an AWS DevOps Agent. Think of it as a 24/7 on-call assistant that can figure out why your system just went down. And for the security folks, there's an agent that acts like a virtual security engineer, constantly hunting for vulnerabilities. So yeah, these are not your average chatbots. These are, well, they're digital employees.
And you can see why this matters, right? The business case is totally clear. For any team that's ever been jolted awake by an alert at 3 a.m., an agent that can automatically find the root cause of a problem, well, that's an absolute game changer. It's all about moving away from constant firefighting and giving teams the breathing room to actually build better, more resilient systems in the first place. But, this isn't just about plugging in new software. It's a whole new way of thinking. People are calling it an agentic culture. It's where teams actually learn to trust AI with real autonomy. They let agents run complicated tasks, keep their own memory of what they've learned, and even suggest or implement changes themselves, all with a human still in the driver's seat, giving that final okay.
Okay, but here's the catch, right? With all this trust comes a big question. How much is too much? The absolute biggest risk here is over-trust. To make this really work, teams have to build super strong guardrails, define exactly what an agent can and can't do, and set up constant checkpoints to make sure that even the smartest agent stays perfectly aligned with our goals and safety standards. So what's actually making all of this possible? I mean, what's the brain behind these agents? Well, these new abilities aren't coming out of thin air. They're being fueled by a whole new generation of incredibly advanced AI models. We're seeing these insane new models pop up, like Mistral 3. And this isn't just a small step up, it's a massive leak. It uses a clever technique called a mixture of experts. The best way to think about it is like this. Instead of one AI trying to know everything, you have a whole team of specialized AIs. And when a problem comes in, the system knows exactly which expert to call on for that specific job. It makes it incredibly powerful and also super efficient.
And this is where things get really interesting because it creates this huge debate for companies. It's a strategic fork in the road. Do you go with an open weight model like Mistral, which gives you total control, transparency, and lets you tinker with everything? Or do you go for a closed model from a lab like OpenAI, which is basically a turnkey solution that's easy to use right out of the box? It really boils down to that classic trade-off. Do you want total control or do you want plug-and-play convenience?
And believe me, the race to build the best brain is absolutely white hot. OpenAI is reportedly in a code red trying to boost the speed of its next model. Google's Gemini is building so much momentum, it's forcing everyone else to change their plans. And then you have these fascinating players like DeepSeek, who are proving that with some clever innovation, even smaller labs can go toe-to-toe with the giants on really complex reasoning. Okay, so we've got these super powerful digital brains. The next logical question is, what happens when you give them a body? This is the next frontier, giving AI access to the physical world. We're talking about a leap from mastering pixels on a screen to mastering atoms in the real world. But before an AI can really act in the physical world, it has to understand it first. And that's where video generation is becoming so important. You have models like Runway's Gen 4.5, which is all about creating videos with incredible physical accuracy and control. And on the other side, you have tools like Pixverse, which are focused on making it dead simple for anyone to create amazing cinematic scenes with just one tap. The gap between just imagining something and actually creating it is just vanishing. And now, that incredible understanding of the physical world, it's getting hooked up to actual physical robots. The intelligence that was first built for digital tasks is now being downloaded into hardware that can touch, move, and interact with our environment. This is where companies like UMA, which stands for Universal Mechanical Assistant, come into the picture. And forget all the flashy sci-fi demos for a minute. This team, which is packed with veterans from places like Tesla, DeepMind, and NVIDIA, is focused on a really practical mission: building tough, repairable robots that can do real work in the messy, unpredictable real world. They're making things like industrial robots for warehouses and even small humanoids designed to work right alongside doctors and nurses in hospitals. And the sheer scale of this is, well, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, this isn't some tiny niche market. We're looking at projections of nearly $250 billion by 2035 for these kinds of robots. And the reason is simple. We actually need them. With a projected 10 million worker shortage in healthcare alone, this is about solving real, urgent problems. So, okay, we've got this powerful new workforce showing up in our digital lives and our physical world, which leads to the biggest question of all. How do we manage it? How do we make sure these powerful new agents operate safely, ethically, and for the benefit of all of us? Well, it's not just one single thing. It's a whole layered approach. It starts way up here, at the global level, with groups like the G20 pushing for a vision of human-centered AI. Then you get proposals for things like an international AI Bill of Human Rights to make sure our core values are baked in. From there, universities and companies team up to build practical tools, and it all trickles down to what's happening on the ground: ethics being taught in classrooms and used in real-world company audits. And it's not all just about high-level ethics and policy either. It gets really technical. As you have more and more of these AI agents working together, every connection becomes a potential security risk. So companies like Cisco are actually building what they call agentic guardrails. Basically, they're using AI to create security guards that protect other AIs from being tricked or used for malicious purposes. And at the end of the day, all of this work, it's all pointing in the same direction. The point of all these rules and guardrails isn't to stop progress. Not at all. It's to create a world where our technology and our human rights can grow and evolve together, hand in hand. All right, so let's tie this all together. What's the big picture? The main takeaway is this: a new kind of workforce made up of autonomous AI agents is no longer some distant sci-fi dream. It's here. It's already working in our software teams, and it's just starting to take its first steps into our physical world. Look, this isn't some far-off future. This transformation is happening right now, and it's going to reshape everything about how we work and solve problems. Your new AI coworker is ready to hit the ground running. The only question left is, are you?